All right. Let me see. Are we good? Are we good? What's up, everybody? How's everything in the chat? Hey, what's up, Anchor? What's going on? Fam is good. I hope you doing good too. I hope you and your fam is doing well. Herman Martinez. Is that how you pronounce it? Right? I'm assuming because you're Spanish. Right? The appropriate term is Herman, right? Or do you go by German? What's up, brother? Thank you. Welcome aboard. You know, Briar, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Mass produced 201. What's going on? Briar, Eternals is fire. You high, bro? Nah, that movie's dog shit, bro. I saw that movie. Yo. Oh, my God. I would have flipped the hell out if I would have saw that in the theater. That movie, Eternals, is dog shit. The only thing fire about that movie is Salma Hayek. That's it. Salma Hayek is up in that motherfucker. She saved the movie. Her sexy ass. Other than that, oh my God, bro. I don't even know why they even bother. That they need to scrap whatever crazy plan they got. Scrap that plan, bro. Because that ain't it, bro. That movie, oh my God, it could have been more fleshed out. Let's all be honest. The movie could have been a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Let me move this. So the movie could have been a little bit more, it's a little bit better. It's just, I mean, I understand they're trying to introduce characters because it's all part of the Marvel Universe. And I would imagine the Celestials has a big part into it. I could imagine that. I could imagine Celestials has a big play into this, into the overall, you know, maybe Ultimate Endgame, whatever they got planned. But oh my God, bro, it's just, bro, we need to demand better. We need to demand better because that ain't it, man. Woo, that movie was rough. Now that's rough as Matrix. Resurrection. That's just downright disrespectful. Matrix Resurrection is disrespect to us movie viewers. Okay? I'm gonna say that. Matrix Resurrection was beyond bad. It was straight disrespectful. Because we could have been doing anything else instead of watching that trash. They had no business making that movie. That business has no reason to exist. God, Resurrection was a bad movie. Okay, I'm not arguing. Shout out to Sam Ash. I'm not saying that they made the Eternals or introducing the Eternals is a bad concept. That's a great concept. I mean, you still got the Tribunal. You got a lot of cosmic beings. I'm still waiting for Galactus. I can't wait until they introduce Galactus. What I'm saying is the execution of the Eternal movie is bad. It sucks. How they executed and just how they written the story and just the point of is just bad. They introduced the Eternal in a terrible way. Oh my God. The story sucks. The story sucks. You know, God damn. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it is what it is, right? What's going on here? What's going on? Shit. Hold up. What are we doing here? Hold up. Let me be back. Alright, I'm back. It's that I was looking for my phone. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I need to quickly look up something for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Okay. Alright, here we go. So I see what you're talking about, the Raiders, Cincinnati and Vegas. Alright. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Shout out to the chat. You know what I'm saying? But Eternals is a bad movie. It definitely had no business being in movie theaters. Like, stop it. Stop this trash. And then they had the nerve, post-credit scene, Eternals will return. Question is, do we want it to return? Oh, my God. Like, they should be like a side crew for another movie. Don't come up with your own stuff. Anyway, we got Herman. We got Anchor. What's up? Mr. Mass Produce. What's up? Briar. Javon's up in here. Terry Henderson was good. Dog Beast, what's up? You know, Sneaky Snake, Carl, Sam Mash. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Joanne Perry from Holland. Welcome. Welcome aboard. I appreciate it, man. I love my European peoples. I miss Europe. I ain't gonna lie. I miss Europe. Oh man, it was those a little over 2 years living there in Germany. It was fantastic. It was great. I definitely gotta go back and do another have a nice holiday over there again. But anyway, Joanne, welcome aboard. Big Night was good. Who we got? You got Spades up in here. A patent every week, nothing ever materializes. That's true. Spider Silver, what's up? We got right here. Bender, what is it? Bender Strings. Yeah, I feel sorry for your Raiders. My brother's a Raiders fan. Don't ask me how he became a Raiders fan because he grew up in New York all his life, but he's a huge Raider Nation dude. Leech, what's up? What else? AC, Franco Tech. Where you go? Johannesburg, what up? Okay. What are the topics for today? I'm gonna get to that. All right, I'll let you know. If you look at the description, it's pretty much there, but I'll break it down. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Eastern Conference Gaming, what's up? Jason needs to be a series, not a movie. Probably would have been a better series, a low budget, maybe a series that could go into better detail, maybe. But yeah, it just okay. Guardians of the Galaxy, I gotta play that game, Sam. I've been hearing a lot. I do gotta get around to that. Wanker76, what's up? Ryan, what's going on? So anyway, man, appreciate it. Thank you so much for rocking out. We already got 80 viewers very quickly. If you don't mind, if you can hit the like button and retweet this out, tweet it out, let people know, set out the link, get up everybody in here because we're gonna talk. My man Herman Martinez, he's demanding what is the topics. He's like, Senor, can you please tell me the topics for the day so we can have a quaint discussion? Got you, bro. I got you, all right? So let me break down the topic. First, we're going to talk about Digital Foundry's way forward for 2022, all right? We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about Project Spartacus updates with that. And then I want to give a little talk about backwards compatibility. I have some thoughts about that. So you're going to get an opinion, right? And I'm going to say this aloud when it comes to backwards compatibility, an opinion, not factual news, all right? Just an opinion and a possibility. I want to make sure I make that distinction clear. It's just my opinion on a topic, so that way people know the distinction, right? I want to make sure that I provide the distinction between providing news and factual information and just an opinion on how I look at something, all right? So with the backwards compatibility, it's going to be more opinion-based, but it's just something for us to think about, right? Some of you may not like the opinion that I might have, and I'm not talking about emotional or something like that. I'm not talking about anything about disrespectful. Just if my opinion ends up true, some people are not going to have issues with the execution. But I'll talk more into that. But first, welcome my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Grand opening, grand closing. Ha! It's your only friend in these YouTube streets, Porter Rock 77. And you guys are on here, right? Your hot take on what's going on. People took to that aspect of PS4 to console PS5 shortage. Oh, yeah, that hot take. And people still getting it wrong. It's like now the meme now or whatever, you know, is PS4 holding back. Let me start out with there. Let me prime this up. All right. So people are running wild with that Bloomberg article. Now is PS4's holding back next gen. So now let me help you guys out. So that way, because there's just a lot of people, it's just insane how people don't know about gaming or just can't really logically think about the industry. And they're trying to provide so much information to us gamers. And all they're doing is misinforming gamers. It's just crazy. So I'm going to help you guys out here, all right? Okay. So now the discussion is it's going to be PS4 holding back gaming, not Xbox Series S. Let me help all those people who are saying that. Okay, so this is the message to you. To those of you who are saying that it's not going to be Xbox Series S holding back gaming, it's the PS4 because developers, third-party developers will still make games for PS4. Listen, buddy, come here. Come here, bro. Come here, guy. My friend, come here. My boy. Let me help you out. Come here. Come closer. Let me help you out. All right? I'm going to help you out here. If a third-party developer is still going to make assuming they're supporting PlayStation and Xbox, meaning they're making the PS5 version and Xbox Series version of games. So they're still supporting both Xbox and PlayStation. And they make the decision to make a game for PS4, they're still going to make it for Xbox One. If they're supporting Xbox and PlayStation, the game is still going to be on Xbox One. There is no reason that any third-party developer will make a game for PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and then strictly PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, but cut out the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X audience. Given the fact that the majority of Xbox gamers are still on the Xbox One family of platforms. Developers are not going to do that. If the game is still made on PS4, right, the multiplat, then it's still going to be on Xbox One. And since it's still on Xbox One, that would make Xbox One the lowest common denominator. Because Xbox One, the vanilla, is the weakest out of all the platforms. They're not going to exclude Xbox One family of games. Okay? Okay, buddy? Okay. California forever, goodbye! You ever seen that guy? Yeah. That's that guy, right? PlayStation forever, goodbye! All right? I cannot believe the insanity that we're seeing here. These are the gamers we have to talk to, and people want to know why on Twitter I don't have serious conversations with these dudes. How can, be honest? How can I spend majority of my time attempting to have consistent, serious conversations if this is the group we have to deal with? How? How is that possible? Right? It's just insane. No. I'm not doing it. What do you guys think about chat? These are the guys that we're constantly having conversations with. All right? No. Okay? It's simple. If third-party developers are still doing cross-gen games and they are supporting both the PlayStation and Xbox platform, then the game's still going to be on Xbox One, which thus means Xbox One is the lowest common denominator. But hey, that's it. Now, if you're talking about strictly PlayStation games, then it's not holding next gen back. It would be holding next gen for PlayStation back, meaning, if PS4 cross-gen is still being made for these first-party titles, then that would be a point you would be making, right? I can understand that point. But that's not the point these Xbox make, because if you're an Xbox, why would you even care, right? Other than to talk shit. But it is what it is, right? These are the type of people we got to deal with. So, again, just so that way you're not being fooled by these people who are misinforming stuff. If a game is still being made on PS4, there's going to be an Xbox One version. They're not going to cut out the Xbox One. That's the majority of the Game Pass subscribers, and that's the majority of the Xbox One gamers, right? So that's how it is, right? It is what it is, okay? Now, as far as more into that, you check out my last video, the last live broadcast I had, and I go more into detail on why, Sony's still supporting the PS4, meaning they're still making a PS4, is normal. But I'm not going to rehash that whole conversation. Just go back and look at the last video if you didn't get to see it. It's something for you to learn about. So now let's get into the topic. Let's get into the topics. But before that, I got to have a visual aid. And we're going to start with Digital Foundry. Boom. I had to get it out there. So Digital Foundry in their most recent Direct Weekly, number 43, available to all, right? They're covering AMD, NVIDIA news from CES, the unfortunate NFT trends. Listen, so I'm looking more into this NFT, but I have not spoken much about it. I need to do more research. So if all of you are wondering how I look at that, give me time to digest it. I need time to digest it, okay? But for now, with Digital Foundry, they announced in that weekly that the way forward for analysis will no longer be about pixel counting for the next generation or the current generation consoles, the high premium consoles, meaning the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and high-end PC. They will no longer pixel count. They're going to move away from that. Pixel count still will be applicable to the Nintendo Switch and weaker system and platforms. The reason and their logic behind it is, number one, these higher end platforms, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC, because of all these techniques and tools, such as, resolution scaling, things like DLSS, super resolution, temporal injection, all this stuff. These platforms are doing a phenomenal job of making it difficult to see the resolution differences, right? And that at this point, people only notice the resolution differences simply because they're being told to. Their focus is more on the overall output, the overall quality of the image that you see. That means shadows, effects, particles, and overall, I think what's probably important is how the game looks in relation to how it performs, which is the FPS. So I think that's what they're going for, and I think that makes sense because the industry is pushing hard on all these techniques with dynamic scaling and all this stuff. With the hard push to go for that, there's going to be less push for native resolution unless you're on PC with a high-end GPU, right? But as far as these consoles, where a lot of us are going to be playing on, it's going to be all about the final look of the game as you see on the screen and not so much the pixel counting, especially when the focus is not to go native. Because native resolution is very taxing, right? And I think a lot of you PC gamers know that. If you go from native 4K down to 1440p, right? You can, bump up frame rates, graphical settings can go higher. You can go balls to the walls with the bells and whistles of graphic settings, right? And that was one of the things with DLSS, with the implementation of DLSS in the video cards, you'll get that nice clean look of a 4K image without the resource hog of actually trying to go native 4K. And that's really the whole point. And I think that's a good thing. I think the focus is how the game looks as you're staring at it on the screen, and not so much somebody giving you an arbitrary number of pixels on the screen. Because if you can't really see the pixel counting yourself, then there's really no point. But what you can see is, I would say, big things like shadows and lighting. What's another big thing now that everybody's noticing? It's texture streaming, right? Oh my God, the term is, it's on the tip of my tongue, but it's poppins. That's becoming huge now. A lot of gamers are noticing that because the textures and the quality of graphics are improving, but we're noticing more pop-ins than ever before, right? And that's all deals with streaming the assets, right? I think that's going to be a big metric, right? How these consoles are able to have a nice fluid world with less pop-in and things that are just distracting. Texture pop-ins, you know what I'm talking about? As you move the screen, it's like all blurry, and then all of a sudden, boom, the textures are now loaded and the picture is clear. Like one game that was notorious for that was Rage. You ever played Rage? Especially on I think on the PS3? Was it on PS3? It was like bad. Like holy shit. Like you can't even move 2 inches to the left without the screen being all blurry, and then all of a sudden, boom, the texture's finally loaded. It's very distracting when you play like that, right? So I think that's important. And then frame rate. I think frame rate, it's a big deal now. We expect these consoles to hold 60 frames more often and locked more than anything else. So you get a good quality picture, locked at 60 frames. That's what we're expecting. So I think it's a good move. I hope it becomes more standard. I'm sure there'll be other sites, because I know people mention, well, we'll have VG Tech. They'll always do pixel counting. And I say pixel counting is more of a PC thing, right? Because I think people are paying top dollar for GPUs, right? So you're not paying top dollar for GPUs for, techniques of 4K. You probably want that native 4K push. So I can imagine, conversations that. But for consoles, the consoles are not going to get more powerful, right? You're not going to switch out the GPU. Their specs is set in stone. So it's all about what the developers can do to provide us a nice, good-looking overall final output, the final picture at nice lock 60 frames. And that's it. That's really what it's all about for these consoles. PC's a little bit different because, PC will get new cards. They'll get more powerful cards. Soon we'll get the next generation GPU cards. That'll be more powerful than what we have now. Whatever NVIDIA calls it. Maybe it's called the 4000 series. Maybe they'll change the naming convention. But soon they're going to make a more powerful card than the 3090, right? Maybe call it the 4090 if they're lazy. Well, not lazy, but if they keep going with it going, or they might just completely change the naming convention. But whatever it is, people want to know the native output for those cards, right? But consoles not like that. The specs of the consoles is locked. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's good that they'll focus on quality, whatever. I know some people are wondering if this is like, are they doing this because they're fanboying for Xbox or PlayStation? I don't think so. I think they might know more stuff right now than what we are getting in terms of the push for all these techniques that can provide the 4K like quality in these games, and they're just getting ahead of the game before it takes hold. Who knows? Maybe outside of AMD super resolution, maybe Microsoft and Sony are working on their own proprietary techniques for these consoles. You never know, and maybe Digital Foundry is just trying to get ahead of the game and realize, these native pixel counts ain't really doing much in the long term, right? It's a long gen, so I think that's a good thing. What do you guys think? Do you think they should still pixel count? Do you think it's been stupid? I know a lot of people have been saying it's a dumb metric now, especially ever since DLSS came out and how great the games look using that. A lot of people are saying it's just not worth it anymore. And a lot of PC gamers, they don't even really care about native 4K. Only like the ones that have like, the 3090s, whatever. But a lot of PC gamers play at 1440p, with 100 FPS at ultra settings, and they're happy with that. That's like, I think, would you all agree that the majority of PC gamers are 1440p ultra, like at 100 frames and stuff like that? They want to go beyond 60 frames. They want very smooth, the smoothest game possible, right? So, yep, image quality is definitely king, right? Let's see. Corey Monster. DF out here talking about going away from resolution, but the latest God of War PC review says they're still on that shit. Yeah, out here hyping the PC or God of War for higher resolution. Well, I could just imagine they'll probably have some legacy content that's still going to they have to knock out, because remember this announcement was on this week's whatever shit they call it, what they call their show, Direct Weekly. So this just happened this week, so they made an announcement of going forward. So I would imagine the God of War piece and PC piece was already pretty much done. So they probably have some legacy content they have to knock out. But I would imagine new content that they create from the ground up in the future, you'll probably see less and less of that. So it'll be a sharp decline overall. So we'll see how they play out. Or you're right, they could be full of shit. Excuse my language. And they still end up counting pixels. And then at that point, we have to look at them and say, why are you still counting pixels, right? Be interesting if they only do that when it what's the term? When it benefits Xbox. That would be funny. Like if it benefits Xbox, they'll do it. But if it doesn't benefit Xbox, they'll keep quiet. That would be funny. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but let's talk about Spartacus. Project Spartan. Is it Project Spartan? I thought it was Project Spartacus. It's Spartacus, right? Or is it Spartan? I thought it was Spartacus. It's there. The little image I'm showing right now says Spartan. I thought it was Spartacus. Anyway, to recap, a couple of months ago, last year, there was rumors about Sony revamping PSN, PS Plus, and PSNOW. And that they're going to drop the PSNOW moniker and just call it PS Plus with different tiers. Okay. My opinion is I think the PSNOW moniker is distracting, and it feels like it's its own subscription, that it's not really integrated overall into the PlayStation Plus ecosystem, right? It's like something you have to pay separately to get something separate. So, with that said, news is being reported that in the UK, retailers are already being told to stop selling PSNOW cards. So cards that provide people to buy the card, and then they use it, get the code, pay for it, then they go online, submit the code, redeem the code, and boom, they have access to PlayStation Now. So those cards are now being removed from the shelf, which could possibly mean that we'll be getting more information and possibly this plan, whatever they ultimately call it, because Spartacus is supposedly the project name, right? It's not the actual name of what's going to be unveiled or talked about. That is happening soon, right? So we could probably see something by summer, maybe. I would imagine that Sony wants to implement and get this out the way as fast as possible. So let me give my opinion. This is just an opinion of how I think Sony, whatever they introduce, how they should introduce it, right? What exactly is. So for me, start with free PSN, right? The free PSN network, right? So with the free PSN network, you got your account, you get trophies, voice chat, party chat, right? I would add now at least a free 5 gigs of cloud storage. And the reason why I think they need to add free cloud storage, 5 gigs at least, is because they removed the ability for you to be able to save your PlayStation 5 save file on like your hard drive or USB drive. It's now locked. You can't, it's not like the PlayStation 4 or the previous consoles where you're able to copy your save files on a thumb drive or an external. You can't do that no more. So it's locked out. So the only way to save your save files is by uploading it to the cloud. Without any free option or personal options to save your save files, that's pretty, I would have to admit, that's pretty shitty that they lock cloud storage behind the paywall. So in my opinion, provide a free 5 gigs of cloud storage for everyone, because you took away the ability for people to save their save files. And it happens. Sometimes, hard drives go to shit, the consoles go to shit, and you want to back up all your saves because you put a lot of time and effort, especially when it comes to things like fighting games and sports games, things that you have to unlock to enjoy the game. You put a lot of work and stuff, and now if something happens to the internal hard drive or your system bricks, you lose everything. And now games like fighters and stuff like that, RPGs where you put in so much hours and content and you haven't finished it, could be disastrous, right? So a lot of people back those files up, so I think Sony really needs to provide free cloud storage, at least 5 gigs, right? So that's the free side. Also, you still have obviously access to free online, Fortnite, Apex, all the free to play multiplayers, right? And anything relating to paid MMOs where you have to pay to play directly to the MMO service, that's not locked behind, a subscription. That's all part of the free. Okay, so pretty much basically what we have now, but include free cloud storage at 5 gigs, right? So that's the first phase. The second would be PS Plus Tier 1. I call it Tier 1. You could name it Bronze if you want. Bronze, Silver, Gold, or Platinum. Or you could call it Gold, Silver, Platinum. You know what? Let's call it that. So PlayStation Bronze, that would be the free PSN, what I just described. Then you get PlayStation Silver plan, right? So PlayStation Silver plan is basically the paid PS Plus. You have access to online, to Call of Duty's, Madden, and stuff like that. You'll get cloud storage up to 100 gigs. I think we get 100 gigs of cloud storage, right? So you get 100 gigs of cloud storage. And then you get the extra discounts. So aside from the normal PlayStation Network discounts, 10% off, 15% off. Then you get the PS Silver, PS Bronze discounts. So you get a level of discounts just for being part of that service. You also get your games monthly, your free, free whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You get your monthly PS Plus Bronze games and stuff like that, right? Which includes, all the games, whatever. Okay, so pretty much normally what we get right now. Then now we're gonna go into the PlayStation Silver plan. I'm trying to make sure I'm aligning the awards right. So tier 1, tier 2, 3. So the bronze is the free. Silver is PS Plus. Now we're going to get into gold. Okay, so gold. So PlayStation Gold plan. So PlayStation Gold plan will be everything that the bronze have, right? But now you have access to a library of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games that you can download. Pretty much kind of like what PSNOW is, but strictly the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 library. They're all native. You have access to them, and you can play them. Boom, whatever. Select titles of a library of 400 games, and blah blah blah. Got it, right? Pretty simple, right? And I think a little bit extra, higher level of sales, right? So you got the bronze, PS Plus game sales, or you got the silver, which is a little bit more. So for example, let's say a PSN normal sales for everybody. Hey, you got 10% off, right? If you're bronze, you get an extra 5% off. If you're silver, you get an extra 10% off. If you're gold, which is what we're so no bronze. Bronze is basic, so you get the normal. Man, this is really confusing, right? Bronze is the normal free one, so you get the normal deals, right? Silver will be what we get now, and you get an extra 5% off. Gold is the next level. You get 10% off, and then platinum, which is the top tier level, you get an extra 15% off. Okay, good. All right, so you get all those tiers, right? And you get access to a library of select PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games that you can download natively, right? And then finally is the platinum. That's gold. Finally is the platinum plan, right? Whatever you want to call it, tier 3, right? And that's now PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games, but now it includes PlayStation 3, 2, and 1 natively that you can download and play, and you have access to the cloud network, which means you can now stream these games on PC, and then as they expand the cloud program on your phones, and whatever phones that they'll make it, iPhones, Android, whatever. So pretty much the platinum program is the full gambit of all titles that you have access. So now you have access to a library of 800, 1,000 games, all natively can be installed on your console, and you have access to the cloud so you could play your games. I'm streaming it onto the phone, onto a PC, things like that. If that makes sense, right? That's what I think potentially, in my opinion, Sony might pull off, right? And the reason why is maybe somebody don't want the full library of PlayStation 3, 2, 1 games, and they don't want to pay the money for cloud. They just want the PS4, PS5 games, and they're cool with that. Because a lot of gamers aren't going to play the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, 1 games. There's just not, So I think having a plan where you have access to a library of games, but it's the games you want, which is specifically PS4, PS5, which I think the majority are cool with, But there's people that want access to a library of PS3, PS2, PS1 games, so now you got that for them. My man says, okay, so now explain that again. So now let me simplify it, right? Basic version, free PSN, free online in terms of free to play games, and you get the basic sales. Next level, PlayStation Plus, what we have now, you get your free monthly games, and you get a little bit of discounts. Next level after that, they throw in PS4, PS5 game library that you have direct access to of 300 to 400 games, and it's strictly PS4, PS5. And then the final level is they add PS3, PS2, PS1 games that you have access to, and you have cloud capability for cloud streamings. There you go. Boom. Whew, that's a lot. Sony's really gonna have to, create a chart and make it make sense. Woo! I don't envy them right now. So yeah, so that's what I think about that, right? Boom. So anyway, so we should be seeing more news about that. So it'll be pretty cool. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. Next topic is the backwards compatibility. So a patent came out, another patent in January 6th to be exact, of a capability for backwards compatibility through use of spoof clock and fine-grained frequency control. I'm not going to even pretend to explain what that means. I'm not even going to fake the funk. I'm not that dude. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to come and fraud and pretend I know what the hell that means. All right? Other than that, they're still trying to work the backwards compatibility. But what I do want to talk about is my opinion, because based on listening to these articles, listening to Hip Hop Gamer, what I could potentially think Sony's ultimately going to do for the backwards compatibility. Ultimately, okay? And this is just my opinion. I'm not saying I got this from... Yeah, it's Mark Cerny speak. Yeah, that man, woo, he's out there. That man knows too much. Give us a tech analysis, P. I'm not frauding, bro. I can't fraud, bro. I can't. I know spoofing means pretend, but I'm not going to go into details. Shout out to Showan. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not even going to pretend to decipher. I'm not Sherlock. I'm not going to be Sherlock Homie this. Nah, not really. So, but what I will say is, about a year ago, more so, Hip Hop Gamer mentioned that Sony's working on a remastering engine to get these PlayStation 3, 2, 1 games and stuff like that, right? And I remember, and correct me if I am wrong, chat, there was an article or something talking about Sony working on backwards compatibility games, getting the ability to developers being able to automatically add trophies to past games, such as PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. Am I bugging out? Do you guys remember that? I could have sworn that was talked about sometime last gen, with Sony working on the ability to help developers easily add trophy support to older games. Pretty much to make it more appealing to today's audience, especially now when all our games have some level of trophy support. Is that has trophy support across the board? That's like pretty much the standard now. Am I bugging out? Because I could have sworn I remembered that. Right? So now, I remembered reading that. I remember what Hip Hop Gamer, and he got bashed for it, right? But I remember what he said. And that was a patent also. So this is what I am imagining, right? I'm imagining that Sony, right? And to make Project Spartacus more appealing and to make backwards compatibility more appealing, that they're doing a little bit more than just simply making PS3, PS2, PS1 games run natively on PS5, but I think they're trying to add some type of appeal besides just saying, hey, we got, for example, we'll use Heavenly Sword, right? We'll use Heavenly Sword as an example. Instead of just simply saying an announcement, hey, you can play Heavenly Sword now. Instead of just saying that, I think they're going to try to attempt to say, hey, we got Heavenly Sword to run natively on PlayStation 5, but it's also been enhanced with our remastering engine. So you'll have, better resolution, maybe better frame rates. The game, I don't think the game was running at 60 frames. I don't remember. And now has trophy support. So instead of just announcing, hey, Soul Reaver works on PlayStation 5 now. It's Soul Reaver with a level of remaster, and trophies. So, does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? So, it's not just the basic game that we played decades ago that now works on PlayStation 5. It has a little bit more enhancements to it. And I think a big part is trophy support. Having trophy support on it, right? So I think, in my opinion, that could be a goal that Sony is trying to do. They're not just simply, and not every game is going to be backwards compatible because there's licensing agreements. It's not just getting the games to run. Certain games, music or whatever, they have to extend the licensing parameters, right? And like my man Craig, the tech guy, said, hit the like button, right? We got 184 people watching. Can I get up to 100 likes? I would truly appreciate it, man. It's free. I'm not charging y'all. I don't got this. Listen, that like button is not an NFT. You all have access to it. All you gotta do is just hit it. It's not an NFT. Nobody owns it. Hit that like button. But instead of just saying, hey, games work, it's, hey, we got backwards compatibility, but also we added some great benefits to the program, such as you'll see better resolutions, maybe improved whatever, trophy support, which I think will be very huge because that's going to make a lot of people replay games. I guarantee that, right? It's one thing for some people that, hey, they want to replay, older games, backwards compatibility games. But if you put trophies on all those games, the people who at first were like, I'm not interested in, replaying this game. It's cool, but I'm not interested. They're going to be like, wait a minute. If I replay the game, now I can get trophies. Then platinum hunters, they're going to go back and play those games. They're going to go back and get them trophies, right? I could see that. I could see that being a great reason to get back because there's a lot of people who enjoy those trophies. So that's going to get a lot more people back into playing those games. Some people might play those games simply because of frame rate enhancements, right? Game that might have been 30 back then, they got it to 60 frames now. So you get a much smoother experience. A lot of people are going to jump on that. A lot of people are going to jump on being able to play some games that were 30 frames now running at 60 frames, right? So 60 frames, enhancements, and trophy support, that could be a great introduction all the way across to the PlayStation 1 library games. So imagine PlayStation 1 library games 2 and 3 having enhancements, boosted frame rates, and trophies. I think trophies are a big one. Across the board, that would be huge. But this is the part that I think people are not going to like about my view. Because Sony did all these enhancements and added trophy supports, they could technically consider this game as not the game you bought. So let's say if you have Heavenly Sword, like I think I still have my Heavenly Sword, disc from the PS3 somewhere in my house in North Carolina. Well, technically, if Sony made an enhancement to that game and they added trophy support or some weird stuff, then that's technically not the game that I bought. So if I put in my Heavenly Sword disc in, it doesn't mean anything. I have to either rebuy the game or play it as part of this tier 3 platinum subscription plan for Spartacus. So ultimately, the PlayStation 3, 2, 1 games that you physically own will have no relevance to the potential plan of Sony's backwards compatible, to which then people will be like, well, then that's not really backwards compatible because my backwards compatible game doesn't work, right? Now, how would Sony think they can get away with it? Well, simple. Nintendo has a library of legacy games. Now they added N64 games, but I think you have to pay $50 a year, and now you can play N64 games and stuff on the Switch. Well, guess what? You can't use any of the discs and cartridges and stuff from back in the days to say, well, I already have the game, let me play it. No, you have to pay for it. Right? And it's working. people are signing up $50 a year to play N64 games. And it doesn't matter if they paid or owned it before. It's irrelevant. So I think Sony will get away with it. And I think at that point, I think the majority won't care. There's going to be people that do care. There's going to be people that, hey, I own the disc. Sony, you messed up. You know, I already bought this game. I should have the right to play it. And so there's going to be that vocal audience. But I think the majority are going to be like, you know, I'm good with it because I can rebuy the game. And when I rebuy it, it's enhanced. It has, you know, improvements and it has trophies, or I could play as part of this Spartacus program. And I think the majority will be content with that, while there's going to be a vocal minority that won't like that idea. And I could see that happen. I could see potentially that happening. My opinion, I'm not going off of, you know, trust me, dude sources. This is just me looking at certain pieces of information and putting it together. But I could be completely wrong in the ultimate onset in this one. But if it does happen, then I would not be surprised that that's their way forward. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Those are the topics I wanted to talk about. You let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm seeing a lot of chatter talking about delays for Xbox. I'm gonna say this because now Stalker 2 got delayed, so we'll talk about this real quickly. And now rumors of Redfall being delayed. I'm going to say delays happen. It happened to us, happened to PlayStation, happened all throughout last gen. If a game needs to be delayed, delay it for the sake of the quality games, right? As far as what does that mean for Xbox, it's not going to mean much for the Xbox because there's still going to be a lot of games Xbox gamers get to play. Who this does really impact, did I say it right? The people who really are impacted by this, to me, are two groups. And only two groups are going to be impacted by the Stalker and potential Redfall delay announcements. Number one, Xbox fanboys. But who cares what impacts them? You know, the guys who bragged about November, December, oh, PlayStation got no games, to include Dustin Liguri. So sorry, you're going to have to suck it up. You wanted to participate, Dustin, into the festivities. Well, now own it. Either in or you're out. Don't try to dip out now like, oh no, I was only joking. Nah, you dipped into the pool, swim or sink. Those are your only two choices. So, Dustin Liguri, you're going to have to deal with that now. You're going to have to deal with, you know, if Redfall gets delayed, oh my God, you're going to get a lot of people on your timeline wondering, what are you playing, Dustin? Right? Hitman Trilogy on Game Pass? You're gonna eat your words. That's why I try to warn journalists. Stay away from console war. Let the fans and the population do that part. You guys, stay out of it. Because one, you suck at it. Like, you guys are really bad at it. You're not good. Participant in console war. Even in jest. Like, you guys all around 100% suck at it, right? So that's number one. And number two, you're not built for that. Because as soon as it comes back, because it's literally, the term console war is a term for a reason. Because it's two parties or more than two parties butting heads. The problem is you like to go and butt your head, but when you get back and you know, and the audience claps back at you, y'all want to pull all this nonsense of, oh my God, you know, I'm stressed out, you know, oh my God, I'm depressed, or, you know, oh my God, there's sexism. Like, you all make excuses. Just own it. If you want in and you're in on the fight, then stay in the fight. Take your blows. You cannot expect to go into the boxing ring and not get punched in the face. If you don't want to get punched in the face, do not go into the boxing ring. Stay away. Like, you guys are crazy. But anyway, so y'all about to feel the pain, you Xbox fanboys. Number two, the next group of people that's going to feel the pain is the group of people that constantly advertise for Game Pass. Like, these weirdo gamers. They literally do free pro bono work, non-profit work, to constantly advertise how great Game Pass is. You know, the 400 games for only $1 type audience. That audience is going to feel the pain because that's less content they get to use over the next 6 months to talk about Game Pass and how great it is. It's going to be painful for them, right? Just letting you know. So those are the two groups that's really going to be impactful. As far as just gamers who enjoy gaming on Xbox, they're not fanboys. They're not trying to advertise Game Pass. They're just trying to play games. They're going to be fine. I mean, we got Elden Ring coming soon. There's and don't worry, Sony will save you by providing another first party Major League Baseball game. So you got that. You're gonna have a great time gaming. But the Xbox fanboys that talk shit and those who are making a priority to advertise for Game Pass, you guys are gonna have a rough 6 months to 8 months. It's gonna be real rough for you guys because you're not gonna be able to do what you guys want to do. So we'll leave it at that. But as far as just gamers who enjoy Xbox, you're gonna be all right. I mean, you're gonna be playing Elden Ring, Dying Light 2 is coming out. There's gonna be a lot of games to play. Yes, they're not exclusive, whatever, but they're gonna be great games to play for your platform. But for the guys who talk shit about PlayStation 5 first party, and the guys who really make it a point to try to advertise Game Pass, yeah, it's going to suck for you guys. You guys who are all about that, boy, it's going to be rough for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just there to game, you're going to be all right. You're going to be gaming good. You're going to have a good time gaming, right? PlayStation, we eating, dog. We eating too much, right? We about to, our sugar levels are going to go through the roof. Because me personally, I'm going for Sifu, I'm going for Elden Ring, and I'm going for Horizon Forbidden West. Those are my 3 titles, and that's a lot just in the month of February. I know some people are also adding Dying Light to the mix, right? The following month, in March, GT7, I am not. That is not for me. No, sir. But I am going for Babylon's Fall in March. And so that's a short window. And I'm not getting the Uncharted collection. There's some people that's gonna play that too. That's we eating, dog. Yo, we feasting. February's a feast. It's gluttony. It's gluttonous. It's gluttonous. It's a sin. What's happening on PlayStation? February is a sin. And isn't February Ash Wednesday for all my Christians out there? Well, you better get your ash. You better get some ash that Wednesday, cause we sinning. Yeah, February is a time of sin, because my God, the gluttony that's about to happen is crazy. Get Strangers of Paradise, P-Rock. You'll like Souls games. Strangers of Paradise. I never even heard of that game, but if it's a Souls game, I will look it up because I do enjoy Souls type games, so I will look that up. But Sifu, I'm gonna get my Kung Fu on. Oh my God, it's gonna be lit. Elden Ring is gonna be lit. And Aloy, the queen of PlayStation. Oh my God. Forbidden West. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. It's crazy. But anyway, it's going to be a good time. The FFS Souls game made by devs of Neo. So Strangers of Paradise. Thank you very much. And oh my God, and I'm still waiting for Lost Soul Aside. I ain't forget about that. I ain't forget about you. I'm real pissed. I am hungry. About that Soul. Oh, Souls like Final Fantasy Origins. Okay. Stranger is a Final Fantasy Origin. Ooh. Okay. All right. I know many of you doing Dying Light 2. Pfft. If y'all trying to do everything in that game, 500 hours. Pfft. Y'all going to be playing that game all the way up until PlayStation 6. Lord. That's right. Lost Solo Side. Can we get something? Like, what's up with that game? You're buying GT7? Good for you. I'm not. I had dudes like, don't worry, Porter, I'll go buy it for you. If you buy me GT7 and you send me a code, I'm blocking you. You're going to get blocked. You're going to get blocked from this YouTube. You're going to get blocked on Twitter. I better not see in my DM a GT7 code. Blocked. That's disrespectful. Sending me GT7. That's disrespect. All right? Send me a Sifu code. Send me a Elden Ring code. Don't send me no goddamn GT7. You will be blocked. I will forget about you. I'll be like, I don't know that dude. don't do it, all right? But you guys enjoy, that game. Enjoy it, stuff like that. But I'm going to be out of here. I don't want to take up too much of your time on this Saturday. I know it's playoff season. I'm hoping to see Buffalo whoop the shit out of the Patriots. But it is what it is, right? But anyway, I'm glad you guys here. Thank you for my 100 likes. There's 195 viewers. If you could just bump it up a little bit more on your way out. Remember, the like button's on the NFT. You have access to it. Truly appreciate it. Anyway, this is your boy, Porter Rock 77. Grand opening. Grand closing. Your only friend is YouTube streets. And I'm out of here. You guys take care. Peace.